Our warm and muggy stretch continued once again, making it feel like June, even though we are still very clearly in the early to middle part of May. And the numbers over the past 36 hours continue to back that assertion up very well. Well, at least very well for those of you that like an early taste of summer late in this part of spring. We hit the mid 80s yesterday. We dropped back at least into the mid 60s this morning, but we had a big jump throughout the day, back at least into the upper 80s. I think Joplin Regional flirted with the 90-degree mark earlier today as well. So despite all this warmth and heat, arguably, and the humidity in place, you would assume that will result in at least some isolated storms, but we're not seeing anything right now, at least in our area, on the radar network. However, I am keeping an eye not just on these storms out across Table Rock Lake with an outflow boundary that could try to work westward, maybe potentially sparking a few storms in southwestern Missouri, but I'm also watching these storms out in western Kansas, which I don't think will affect us. But on top of that, our cold front to the north, that's going to be a big player in our forecast as we go into tomorrow. In the meantime, though, we're looking good from 7th and Range Line. That's a mostly sunny sky up top. 87 and Joplin with the north breeze, but still with the dew point in the mid 60s, it makes it feel like 88 degrees outside. So while the dew points are not terribly up there, you take the temperatures in the mid 80s to about 90. Add about a degree or two, that's the effect against your skin if you're going to be out and about this evening. But as far as the breeze goes, it's been fairly light, but notice how we're getting more northerly winds knocking on the door of the Kansas border. That is where our next front is. Before it gets here, though, we're mainly quiet this evening. Maybe some clouds building in by midnight and through the overnight. Most of us, though, will drop back into the mid 60s. Now, let's widen the view out. Again, I don't think these storms out in western Kansas will make it here. I think they'll fall apart before they can, but maybe as they fall apart, maybe a random storm or two in our western counties overnight. But this is the main cold front that's working on in for tomorrow. A couple that with this upper level low, the brunt of it's going to stay north, but we'll get a bit of a wave running along that to help with rain and thunderstorm chances and even a severe threat, a low to elevated severe threat, certainly as you work toward Nevada, Parsons, the Joplin Metro, and down toward Table Rock Lake. I want to keep an eye on these storms in general, not just from 10 a.m., but all the way through 7 o'clock tomorrow, depending on how the storms play out. I still think high wind, large hail, heavy rain will be the biggest issues as that front pushes storms in here. For tonight, though, the storms out west, I still expect them to weaken. Maybe a random storm or two overnight in some parts of southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma, but let's keep an eye on the storms to the north as they get going. Most of the models want to indicate, or at least our thinking wants to indicate, that while most of the action could skirt our northeastern counties early in the morning, outflow from those storms could spark additional strong to severe storms for areas along the south of Interstate 44 before we clear things out by tomorrow evening. But as far as where we go for the 7-day forecast, went a little ahead there, but if I've got enough time, I want to quickly pull up that 7-day because we will get a little bit of a break in the action once we get past this storm system. I'm making tomorrow an alert day because of the potential severe threat. Highs are 84. Let's go 76 on Monday. Mostly sunny, looking good. And then the rain chances start creeping back up with maybe another severe threat by next weekend, Chris.
A little bit of a wet week ahead, but the temperatures are looking pretty nice.
Yeah, Monday's going to be mighty nice to get a break from the 80s and the early heat and humidity.
Yeah, it will be a very nice break. Nick, thank you so much.